Hey guys, welcome back to Arry the Stag. TR Tony here, just checking in. It's January. It's that time of year when Southwestern Vehicle Auctions are putting on their winter auction sales. So knowing that's coming up at the end of the month, I've just checked in with the guys there, and we're just going to do a quick review of some of the cars that are coming up for sale on the website. Feel free to go to their website and check out the details. There's lots more details than I can cover in this video, but I thought I'd give you a little bit of a special bit of attention for January. Coming back to work, new year, get started, have a look at some lovely classic cars. Let's go over and have a look. Okay, so I'm sure many of you are familiar with the Southwestern Vehicle Auctions main website, and as you can see here, date for your diary is that the winter classic car auction is on the 27th of January, starting at 10 o'clock. They have a closing date of the 18th, for which you have the latest date to submit your classic cars, should you were to sell them, but that's really great. Before we get into the winter classic car auction on the 27th of January, you can see there's a spring one coming up soon as well on the 28th of April. So they hold these, I think, 4 times a year. So if you miss this one, there'll definitely be one for next time. So currently there's 5 pages of cars, and a lot of them are kind of modern classics as much as anything, but there's some interesting varieties here. Lot 1 here, Daimler V8 250 1969, 78,000 miles, not warranted, 49-year ownership, so very, very good. I'm sure that will be. Equally, some other cars there, looking at the Renault 5 Campus 1995. There's a car you don't see too much more of these days on the road. Interestingly enough, this car, it says in the description, is very original and only has 2 former keepers, would you believe, and super fun to drive. Wind-up windows, a large history file, and the Renault driver's pack is also present. New brakes, and yeah, looks to be a good buy. Nice colour there in red. Slightly more modern 1997 Ford Escort Gear Cabrio. One I suspect will be good for the summertime. I don't know if we can see some of the details there. And beautiful looking kind of P-Reg plate. Great for spring and summer, like we said. And the more modern of the Ford Escorts, which I think, yeah, you could argue is a classic car now. The engine bay looks okay, looks used, but certainly tidy, if not absolutely mint clean. Barn fine 97 it says, relatively poor condition, but has had new recent tyres, battery and fuel pump, MOT'd until August. So V5 currently not present. 93,000 not warranted miles, but there you go. It looked good in the photos, and I'm sure up close with a closer inspection it'd be interesting to see. I didn't actually see what it was due to go for. In fact, let's just have a quick look to see. Oh, there's no reserve, so could pick up a bargain there if you wanted a project and wanted to buy a decent Escort Gear Cabrio. Various other more modern motors. This one caught my eye the other day, the Mercedes Elegance CLK, and 320, 38,000 that are warranted miles actually. Last on the road several years ago, but a good colour. It's in that kind of navy blue colour, which I think is very strong for a Merc. This one is the 2+2, so the 2-door CLK version, 3.2 engine in it. And again, can't see up close and personal, but looks to be up together internally nice. Steering wheels obviously seen a little bit of better days, could do with a bit of a clean up, but I'm sure Mercedes, having been Mercedes, will generate a good buy for you potentially. So there's that one there. And again, on the reserve, I don't think there's a huge amount on it, 375 to 475 pounds. So not a lot of money for what would have been several tens of £1,000s when it was new back in 2001-ish, whenever this car was made. Looking at the plate, 51 plate, yeah, 2001. So there you go. A few other cars there to look at. The Jaguar S-Type Diesel Sport 2005, 90,000 miles. Looking to be a rare example of a 6-speed manual 2.7 litre twin turbo diesel S-Type, finished in metallic black with black and oyster leather interior, and electric sunroof, Alpine stereo. Looks very tidy, still looks a contemporary car these days on the roads now, and some nice photography. Blacked out windows in the rear, and it's got the S-Type logoed badge you just saw there on the back, and being a Jaguar, I'm sure you're going to get some quality for the money. Looks very tidy inside, and lots to get excited about, I'm sure, with that car. And back to catalogue. Let's get on to page 2. A few other things here. So Audi Quattro 2000. There's a Watsonian sidecar AJS 18S 1958. Black, 12 not warranted miles on it. A very rare and excellent example of an AJS motorcycle with this combination. I like the Jaguar XJ Sport. This for me is a modern day classic. Carnival red, 87,000 not warranted miles, but the classic lines of these cars I think is quite remarkable, quite stunning. And I'm sure even in modern day traffic, you know, they're going to keep up the pace. It's an XJ8. It looks tidy inside, as you can see there, and white leather interior. That kind of mix of carnival red and white leather with a Jaguar V8 under your right foot has got to make for an attractive proposition. 3,000 to 4,000 is the estimated value. And what else to say about it? Well, you know, it looks to me like a very nice car. And, you know, if you're looking for a decent quality classic Jaguar, for me, all day long, that would be a lovely car to try and acquire. Got a couple of Triumphs here. There's a Triumph Herald Estate. You don't see too many of these days. 1964, 38,000 miles, not warranted. Looks to be in, I think that's Valencia blue, potentially. And there's a Morris Ital here. Had this as a company car many years ago. 1982, 44,000 miles, 1.3. And yeah, they were cars of their time, I'm sure. A little Fiat 126 DeVille, and also another Jaguar XJ Sport V8 Auto. This one with 62,000 warranted miles. And just to compare that one with the previous one, looks very, very nice indeed. Love that colour combo, as I've said before. That carnival red with the white interior too. And what a car that would be. I'm not quite sure what the reserve is on this. Going down 2.5 to 3.5. So it's a lot of car for the money. It's been incredibly well looked after, and 13 stamps in the book, which are by Hartwell's, Jaguar and Bristol. So 240 brake horsepower, which is a lot of brake horsepower for 2.5 to 3.5 grand, depending on how it goes on the day, of course. Moving on, Mini Cooper 2003 there, page 3. Let's go on page 3 and have a look. And Mercedes 200 TE, 1993 in white, and 14 stamps. Pretty rare these days, these cars. So you don't see them too many on the road anymore, nor do you see the Austin 12.4 Ascot 1935 or the Rover P6 Saloon V8 1972, 84,000 miles. It's been owned since 2014, comes complete with a Rover 3.5 owner's manual, some old MOTs and parts and accessories, and looking good all day long. These are an all-day classic, loads of these still on the road, which is great to see. I had one as a kid in the family, or my dad actually had it, sadly rusted to hell and went off. I think we sold it for 18 quid in the end. This one looks to be very, very tidy indeed, and beautiful of its time interior, with the 3.5 kind of logo on the steering wheel there, as you can see, and a beautiful leather going. You almost smell that leather, can't you? Engine bay looks immaculate, and looks to be a very good buy. I don't know what the guide price on that. 3,000 to 4,000, 84,000 not warranted, but does look very well cared for, and a nice car. And by the way, you can have a proper look around these cars. There are videos on each of these on the website, so if you want to go to the website, Southwestern Vehicle Auctions, and have a look, then you'll find more on there. And I'm just jumping around the website here just to see what's what. Peugeot 205 1.6 GTI 1990. These were little pocket rockets, these were, and special edition one. This one's one of only 1,200 that were made, so interesting that that's on the market. There's an MG ZR Express, Citroen 2CV, and MGB Roadster 1978, 8,862 miles since a rebuild, owned since 2016, and in the family from around 1980, so imported from Canada in 2010. And just have a quick look at it. It's got the American style rubber bumpers on it that was legislation driven at the time. I quite like the look of that. It still looks a beautiful car. Some prefer the chrome bumper MGs, but these again look more modern. So left hooker, as you can see, but looks very tidy inside, and 119 of 250 cars that were made. So looks to be a lot of car for the money. And in terms of money, they're looking anywhere between 3.5 and 4.5 as a guide price, without the commissions as well on that. Page 4, let's move on to that. And yeah, you've got a VW Beetle there, 1964, 37,000 miles, again not warranted, turquoise, and looks to be a really good, subject to a 2-year home restoration with new parts fitted, new floor plans, bulkhead heater channels, seals, new front and rear wings, new inner and outer wing sections, and so on. There's a Ford Fiesta 1983. These were great cars, weren't they? 55,000 miles, 1.1, 3-door, black. Has had a slight refurbishment, started life in Tuscany apparently, and has been stripped and refurbished. New wishbones, arms, axle, roll bars, bumpers, and so on. And close-up look at it, it looks brand spanky new, doesn't it? Looks like it's just rolled off the production line almost, and a very, very tidy car indeed. I remember these back in the 1980s, and they were a great purchase. Very simple, very easy to drive, very comfortable, and of their time. And this one, no exception, looks like it's been well preserved and looked after. And looking at the guide price, 4.9 to 5.9 is the guide price for that one. So again, one to look for on the day. Lovely Chevrolet Corvette C4 there, convertible, 1989. Another MGC here, not an MGB, MGC Roadster, 69, 86,000 miles. Original right-hand drive, was dispatched 9th of Feb 1968. Remains as supplied with overdrive, heater, wire wheels in tartan red with black leather. Restored around 15 years ago. It's been with the current registered keeper since 2010. Nice Maserati 3.2 GT Auto, 65,000. That is warranted as well. And a Rover Mini Cooper 91. Again, very much the traditional looking, beautiful looking Mini Cooper look. Austin A166 Hartford Saloon. There's an Aston Martin DB7 Volante. These are interesting because again, this was a lot of money to buy, brand new, 1997. They are very stylish, the kind of James Bond look, if you will. This one's a convertible, as you can see. So you've got the full benefit of sunshine travel, as well as the Aston Martin Lagonda. Now, it'll be interesting to see what this one's up for. Between 10.5 and 12.5, 77,000 warranted miles, just shy of. And it's been owned since 2008 with MOTs and various other bits and pieces. So looks very, very good. Was involved in a Cat D insurance claim for a fire, but you wouldn't see that now at all. It looks like a lovely looking car now. It really does. Another MGB Roadster, 1979. A Ford Escort 1.6L XR3i. Again, these were big in the 80s, 1986. And comes from a collection of 20 cars. It's got an MOT till September 23, and all the cam belt tension is being replaced and servicing taking place before its most recent MOT. So looks like it's a very good up-together car. And again, you can dip into these on the website yourself, guys. MGB Roadster 1967, 66,000 miles, not warranted, in red. A chrome bumper version, this one, and just looking a little bit more detail. I like the colour diversity between the red and the white kind of convertible hood there on an E-plate. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Stunning. It's probably quite an early MGB Roadster, and looks good with the hood up or down, resplendent in this January sunshine. The original steering wheel here with monochled MG on the steering boss there, a really good looking car, and the guide price for that between 10 and 12,000 pounds. So kept in garages and only used in fair weather. It's been well looked after over the years, and you can just see the value of that as an investment maybe for the future, and so on and so forth. We've got a couple of other cars there. There's a Jaguar XKR. Again, these for me are the modern day E-types in my view. 42,000 miles in green colour there. That's looking really, really good on a wide plate. And these, I think, are a lot of car. From XKR, you've got a lot of brake horsepower under your right foot. It's very tidy looking on the inside. Supercharged motor, 42,000 miles, 7,000 to 9,000 pounds for a Jaguar of this calibre. And what a what a beautiful car that is as well. So there you go. So there's a few pointers on the website. Finishes off with a Triumph TR3A in 1959 and built on the 6th of June 59, and looks to be a very nice Triumph car. It's lot 50. And that is it for now in terms of the numbers of cars. We've got 5 pages. I'm sure there'll be some more before the deadline of the 18th of January, I think it was, to get the cars in. So if there are more, we'll try and update you. Otherwise, go and have a good look, dig around as I've done, check on the details, have a look at the videos on the cars you're interested in, and be ready to go online to get your auction and enter into it. 27th of January is the date that that's happening. So very, very exciting. All right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Lots of very exciting looking cars coming up for sale, and all happening at the end of January. There are some viewing slots before then. You can actually physically go and see 1 or 2 cars. I think you have to make an appointment. And there's also an investment, I think it's £1,000 to be able to go bid for a car. So apart from those 2 things, just pick up the phone, go talk to them, and see if you can set up a time to go see one or other of these cars. But quite an array, like I said, only a couple of Triumphs, but as you know on Arry the Stag, we love all sorts of cars, and for me, highlight I think probably was one of the Jaguars, and maybe the Triumph Herald Estate as well, because of its uniqueness and quintessential Englishness of the car. Okay, if you like what you see, please check in on a weekend. We do a Saturday Sockets email, and also if you want to have one of those badges of honour, please just go to our website and check in there, and you can order that online, and we'll send you one free of charge anywhere in the world, which can't be bad, to sport on your windscreen, regardless of what car it may be. Okay, all about sharing the classics dream at the end of the day. Good stuff. Okay, that's it from us. Have a great week wherever you are, and we'll see you online on Arry the Stag very soon. Cheers for now, guys. All the best. Bye.